Come on, welcome back to our vlog channel, guys. In this episode, we're continuing with our Drift BMW. Because we have some awesome events coming up this season, starting with a drift competition from Drift Arcaded at the end of March. Of course, the car needs to be ready for that. We have a lot of work to do, and we also need to go to the dyno to tune it again. First, we need to get the car running before we go. And there's a wiring harness next to the car, there are 2 gearboxes next to the car, and one of the 2 will be installed in the car. Triple M Driftings and my little brother did a phenomenal job installing the engine. And everything that comes with it, camshafts, conversions, etc, etc. So they really worked hard. So today we're going to make some serious progress on this car. The problem is I haven't worked on this car, at least not on assembly tasks. I don't know how things fit back together, so I can't tell where everything belongs. I'm going to take apart what I know so I can put it back together later. That's my plan. And besides that, there's still quite a lot of work to do to get something ready to start. Something to look forward to. It's going to be hard work. I also hope to be able to reinstall the gearbox today and then connect the car. We're definitely one step closer to starting the thing. First, I'm going to start with a piece of wiring harness. This is from the 6-cylinder, which is still in here. This is from the 4-cylinder. I'll remove this the same way I'll install the new one. Hopefully, it'll make sense as I go. We messed up the starter motor, but more on that soon. First, let's assemble everything. I'm excited. Let's go. After the past few hours, I've been really busy with the wiring. I've also completely finished the power steering. I removed all the old power steering lines that were hanging here, and I installed our new used power steering lines. And as you can see, everything has been finished in the original way. It was quite a puzzle, but in the end it all worked out fine. I was also missing a bracket. I've just secured it now with a metal tie wrap, which you actually use to fasten your steering rack bushings. So it's not completely original since there's usually a bracket on top. But it's a drift car, so I put a metal tie wrap here and a metal clamp here. With this, we should have power steering. Now we just need to fill it with oil. Yeah, I've also been working on the coolant lines. I honestly just don't know how they're supposed to go together. Ultimately, it's a big puzzle. I really need my little brother back. As shown in the footage, Don has done a lot on the BMWs. Actually, I also got the tip that we don't need a stabilizer bar at the front at all for a drift car. No, yeah, but we can always test with it, right? And in our case, our stabilizer bar hits our oil pan. So, at first I just wanted to lower it so I could put something in between here. But on the other hand, it's better if we just remove it for now. The first start is getting closer by the minute. So now we're going to take off the stabilizer bar, then install the starter motor. The starter motor will be an interesting job since I think it should already be on the car. Yeah, indeed, this still had to be taken out. Just do it like this, that's all there is to it, I think. Pinch your nose. Yeah, Frank gave this as a tip. Take it out, you're gonna thank me. Yeah, that's really what he said. Front wheels and stabilizer bar off. Now let's try to start it, let's go. Ah, steering angle. This is great, we don't have to take the wheels off, guys. A bit of full lock does the job. As you know, in the previous episode, we mentioned that the super tanks are going to Matthew for that episode. And maybe we should also request a super tanks action for this one. But this time, it's for ourselves, or also for Matthew. Or also for Matthew indeed. Our goal is, of course, to go to Drift Arcade on March 30th. That's at the track in Lelystad again. And they have a competition day there where we've been invited. Yeah, I know real pros are coming. I've heard. I'm a pro too. No, but seriously, it's nice to have a competition day with the pros. It's cool to see how far you can go in a competition, right? Unfortunately, I won't be there since I'm in Gran Canaria. Yeah, but how much confidence do you have in me? I should at least make the top 5, though I heard some strong competitors are coming. And I think you're going to lack power on that small track. Yeah, yeah. The problem is, of course, keeping up. You have to match their speed, so if a Frank comes in at 200, you just have to be able to keep up. But this track is so small, right, Lilystad, that basically you can only. The difference was pretty big between Frank and us in terms of speed. He is so fast. He's already an example just by how quickly he can accelerate and also brake again. He also drives with semi-slicks. Yeah, we're still kind of cheating a little. We're trying to move forward with 3.5 bar. Well, Tritator Stank for sale. All proceeds go back into the project. On the hoop, did you guys put liquid suits on the cart span? Definitely. Yes, yes. Very subtle. You can really see that, huh? So the starter motor, which is from the 6-cylinder, we're just gonna use that, I think. There might be a difference between the 4 and 6. It would be odd if the 4-cylinder matched the 6 in power. Can you shift gears with it a bit? Or is that gearbox a bit rough? He tells me it's fresh. Did you want to test it for a moment? You're right. From now on, do these things right away or you'll install this and half won't work again. It's more the layer than the ground. Yeah, it worked. Great. Well, good luck then. This is the best part, installing the starter motor. It should be possible, theoretically. Do you know what we're going to do? Press the camera, just put it in. We can't get the gearbox mounted. We think the drive shaft, which is actually right between the gearbox and the chassis, is actually in between them. Which means it doesn't give us the space we need, so now I'm going to remove the exhaust. We're not going to reuse this one either because now we have a 6-cylinder and we actually want a larger diameter piping. We need a different exhaust sound, so we won't reuse this one. This one comes off, a few brackets loose, exhaust off, heat shield off, drive shaft off, and then we'll get through it. Let's go. Now it's just a matter of tightening all the bolts around. Gear lever secured. Carena's returned with the right Harley disc. Oh, and then theoretically we could already start once we put the oil in, so I'm excited. As you can see, I've been busy with the spaghetti manifold. It's completely secured underneath as well. We don't need to touch that anymore. The first start is really close because the only things left to add are oil and 6 spark plugs. I'm so excited, guys. We've worked so long to hear this. And soon, with that spaghetti header underneath, it will sound amazing. It can't be any other way. A 6-cylinder always sounds great, especially with a spaghetti header. So, Dancha, start it up. Yes and no. First put the oil in, bro. Hopefully the oil pan is sealed properly. Did you do that? I did. Then it should be fine. We trust Motu. Yeah, always since the agricultural projects. When we see what a big sponsor this is in the drifting world, man. In the Eastern Bloc, Motil isn't used oil renewed with crude. No, and if you see this at the top, BMW approval, then you know for sure it's the right oil. Right? Bobbins runs as if it's different again, it stops, and one is new and the other one. I have plenty of those lying around, so that's not an issue. Is the engine in good shape? Battery terminal on, battery terminal on. Yes, that's where we'll start then. I saw you looking. Here's the battery lock. Do we have power? We'll find out. Do we have a fuel pump? What we're going to do now is build up oil pressure in the engine. Because the engine has been sitting for so long, there's no oil left between the bearing shells. Probably almost nothing. We'll build compression or oil pressure without bushings. As soon as the oil pressure light goes out. Yes, oil pressure. No, or whether the starter motor even turns. Oh yeah, so keep going until the oil pressure light goes out. We've got it. It's working. Yeah, it does turn around. For now, it still sounds really nice. Battery voltage. Now we're going to quickly install the spark plugs, and we'll do that with a camera trick, and that's how fast you install them. 6 spark plugs and 6 coils. Ready? I am. After putting quite a few hours into this swap again, I'm ready. Our toolbox is a bit less ready. This is correct, right? Yes, that's all correct. We won't use the rest. Apparently it's all from an automatic transmission computer and things like that. Ah, okay, it's a manual, right? Let's turn this thing on, man, okay. People should keep earbud users in mind, so that things will still be pretty normal. Hi, Dirk, 3, 2, 1, no. We keep it on the charger, we always have things like this. New round, new chances, 3, 2, 1. Stop. I think we're overlooking something. Let's take a look at what's causing it. We'll start at the beginning. That's of course funk. Well, we're definitely getting fuel. Oh, it's soaking wet. Yeah, it's getting a lot of gasoline. We don't have a spark. I found out this is our ignition coil wiring harness. One connector goes to the engine control unit, which makes sense. And yeah, one big positive wire with a ground that's shared with the relays for our ignition coils, basically the ones that also handle the spark. Yeah, when these relays get power, then it will spark. But because our ignition coils aren't getting any positive voltage, of course it will never spark. So I think this connector goes on here, and I actually think that because I looked at this stripped down wiring harness, this is the simplified ignition coil wiring harness for the 4-cylinder. And if you look here, you can see that there's also a positive and a negative coming out here. And that connector goes on here. In our case, it's open, but it's also linked to the relays for the ignition coils. So why did we connect it here originally? Well, that's actually because the connectors don't fit together. So these two connectors can't be connected to each other. And that's also the reason why we thought, well then that would make sense for it to be loose. Now we'll remove the connector from the 4-cylinder, attach it here, and plug it in to see if it starts. Almost. We're touching. I hear a click. Was that you? That was the sound when it turned on. Are we ready? Yeah, I think either it goes boom or it's going to start. Haha. Yeah, sure. Woohoo, there's no carbon fluid in it either, right? All the cylinders are working together. Warm, warm. Not this one. Which one is that? This one. Okay, not that one. So not one of them. Yeah, this one is still really cold. That one. Okay. Then we'll quickly grab a bobbin from upstairs, put it in, and hopefully it'll work a bit better. The bobbin has been replaced. I topped up the power steering fluid. Of course, we need to bleed this, and there's only one way to do it. Just turn it left and right. Yeah, it's that simple, guys. Well, I'm curious how it sounds now, and if the exhaust gets warm. Yes. Warm? Is it warm now? Yeah. Ha ha ha. Wow, we can still add some fluid. Yeah, they're all warm now. And I capped off a vacuum, so I want to hear from you, Dan. Who do you want to pay for? We already had players on extra. Well, let's go then. Hey, we're getting closer and closer. Hi, Gian. Just open a little door and bleed the coolant. What do you think about that? Yeah, I'm fine with everything. At least it starts. That's what matters. Because I think once we have the coolant in, we can let it run a bit longer and see if we actually get temperature in the engine. And then we can really bleed the power steering. So, shall we fill it with vacuum? No, I wouldn't. We always use those vacuum filling systems, but they never work for us. Super weird. Yeah, we're really on fire. For sure, we've reinstalled the air filter, obviously a sports air filter, because that's a must. There will be a heat shield around it, so it doesn't just suck in hot air, but actually real cold air. Because we have a pipe running from the front to the air filter, and an interior filter is also nice. Interior, right? Mainly so when driving behind drift cars, you get some dust filtering. So that's what we're putting back now. And because of that, soon the engine bay will look finished again, just like it comes from the factory, because these engines also belong in the E40. That's why the swap is fairly simple to do. Oh yeah, we've also reinstalled the windshield washer nozzle. When you're drifting and driving behind the car in front of you, your windshield gets pretty dirty. You guys know it. At Lelystad, the track is sprayed with ditch water. And yeah, that makes your car pretty dirty, so if you have a windshield washer, during that event, when we have a race at Lelystad, it's nice to be able to see something. The suddy has been rebuilt. There's another cover around it, then another one over that, and after that, just fill up the coolant. By the way, we don't have the right coolant at home, so we still need to fix that. We thought pink, but we're not going to do that. We'll just use the right coolant. Some people say you can just throw in any type of coolant, but I always think that's not right. If the manufacturer requires blue, we use blue. Yeah, I think it can also cost you a cylinder head, so... Oh yeah, I still need to put the strut bar back. That covers the engine, and I'm wondering if it will fit. Of course, it was for the 4-cylinder, so just a few more things and it's almost ready. Well, pretty clean filter, right? The woman can do everything. I'm that kind of person. I'm a sniffer. Yes, the finishing touches. This really makes me happy. Laying the cable neatly, just as it should be. We just used the one from the 4-cylinder, since that's what belongs on it, of course. A few more clicks. For the people who know the Ludolfs in Germany. Yes, I think it was a show from a long time ago, but it was a car scrapyard run by the Ludolf brothers. And they had set up a stacking method, guys, at University of Texas. They had piles of stuff everywhere. When they needed something, they'd just grab a part from there, and they always knew right away. If a customer wanted the Golf 2, he'd just walk through his warehouse and find it in the pile. Yeah, this is it. He always knew the right part for every brand. Pretty bizarre, you know, Lily Doos, right? Check it out on YouTube, because it's too funny. The strut bar, not unimportant. You want maximum stiffness in a drift car, mainly at the front. We'll put this back on and see if it fits. Does it fit? We actually have space, so yes, more space than with a 4-cylinder, right? With 4 cylinders, it was tighter, wasn't it? Everything will be fine for car tuning. Thank you, champs. We need to steer for a moment now, so that we can bleed the power steering. I don't know if you can hear me, but it's incredibly loud. We're going to check if the gearbox is working properly, so we're going to shift gears now. Clutch 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you shouldn't rev so much. There's water everywhere. It's slipping through. 3rd gear, everything is soaking wet. Guys, you know it, right? Of course, we need to get those first meters in, so let's go. How's the clutch? Good, very smooth. I'm so happy, guys. This car has been sitting with us for several months. Oh, Danche. It really sounds great. A 6-cylinder is really something different compared to a 4-cylinder. It sounds awesome. And your first few meters, that clutch is so smooth, it's just like the 4-cylinder, really. But I didn't hear any revs. What was that? You didn't want to make noise? No, I didn't. I also saw a horse ahead. Oh yeah, just take it easy. If you start racing here on the dike, they won't be happy, you know? He's doing just fine, you know? He's not stalling, he's running smoothly, no slipping in the clutch, everything's perfect. Yeah, wow. As you saw, we worked hard in this episode to make it happen. We had setbacks, but everything's fixed. I wanted to add something. Oh yeah, in the next episode, we're probably gonna have an exhaust made at RK because that's really something that's super important. This thing makes so much noise, it's really not normal. Yeah, our eardrums are already ringing just from idling inside. Wow, that's really necessary. And after that, of course, we're gonna get a custom chip. We want a flame tune with pops and bangs for a big show. At the car shows we're going to this year with this car, we're really looking forward to meeting all of you in person. And come on, huge shout out to all of you. All of you who have sponsored, each and every one to make this project a success. Just take a look. Super thanks, they've all been super thanks for all of you. We really want to thank you for that. Without you, this project would never have turned out the way it did. And of course, our regular sponsors, thank you all, each and every one of you. We hope to be able to showcase you in a good light at the car shows soon. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see each other in a new adventure. Let's go.